Fact or fiction about Northern Georgia. It's a Northern Georgian edition. If you hear construction in the back, it's because we're expanding as a franchise.
Like just building a gazebo for a barbecue.
Yeah.
He wants to sound cooler, and then was like,
Shannon, you're killing my vibe. You're killing my vibe. I'm trying to woo our viewers, which, by the way, we have 500 viewers now, the subscribers. So I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, so fact or fiction, Northern Georgia edition, right? You can't look at it because I need to like testing, right?
But why would I know these?
Fact or fiction, the Appalachian Trail begins in Vermont.
That I know is completely false.
That's right, because that was actually a stupid one because we did start it. We didn't start it at the starting line, but it does start in Georgia.
It does start in Georgia, and just so you know, it goes all the way to Maine. And if you were to hike it by foot, it would take you approximately 6 months to complete.
That's very true. That's very true. It does begin though in Springer Mountain in Georgia, in northern Georgia.
How far south is that from where we were?
I'll get back to you on that. I didn't research that part, but it is in northern Georgia, and why it's in this episode. The second fact or fiction, are you ready for this? Helen, Georgia was modeled after a Bavarian village to attract tourism.
That is true. It is. It's very, how would you say, very German architecture. It looks like you're like in a little city in Europe. I don't know.
I thought it was cute. I mean, it's borderline like Disney.
Yeah, it looks. You're in the middle of the country, then all of a sudden, boom, you're looking at these
bratwurst. You could eat bratwurst there. It's like very German, yeah.
It's very German, but it's cute. It's a cute, little, catchy city. It actually is not as little. I should say it's not as little. It's cute, and they have a lot of fun things to do there. Is that part of our notes, or should I get into that?
No, you're doing fantastic without notes, which is I think you're catching on.
So. They have tubing there, which we did, which is a lot of fun. Yeah. And then they have a lot of these restaurants like overlooking where the creeks are and stuff. And they have wasp.
Yes, which I got bit by a wasp. I'm still kind of recuperating from that situation. I thought I was going to lose my hands. Mm-hmm. But besides that, everything is kosher. They did make Helen, and they transformed it in 1969 just to attract tourism because it was like a mining town at some point, or not mining. Well, mining, yes, because there was like a semi-gold rush in the late 1800s, and then obviously that economy just died and fizzled out. So in 1969, they actually created or revamped Helen to have this German look and feel. So I'm sure they were having a good time in the summer of '69 and decided, hey, why not turn this into a German town?
Maybe they were eating the shrooms from the town and envisioned
Germany.
And boom.
Who knows? So the next one, here you go. You can't legally buy moonshine in Georgia. Fact or fiction? I didn't look at my notes, but I'm going to say that legally, no, I don't think you can. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. You're wrong.
You can.
You can. Legal distilleries, actually, like Old No and Moonrise, operate under a license, so you can purchase moonshine legally.
So question, is it everywhere or only specific people?
I think you need to have a license.
Just for moonshine. I can understand that. Yeah. It's dangerous.
It's a little...
like absinthe.
Well, we had absinthe, actually, in Old No. But again, and it's funny because I did ask him, am I going to see a green fairy? And
what are you talking about?
Because you know that absinthe is known like supposedly you hallucinate so bad that you see a green fairy.
I've never heard that.
I heard that several times. And basically he said no, that's all myth. That basically you see like a little haze if you drink enough of it, but it's not anything like a fairy coming up to you and talking to you.
That doesn't appeal to me. What did it taste like? I wasn't with him when this happened.
It was phenomenal.
It tasted good?
It was a great drink.
No, I'm being serious.
It was with the concoction. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
But with the concoction, it was a very good drink. It was. I didn't see a green fairy.
Interesting.
Yeah, I saw a white Cuban. Eddie.
No, he's Puerto Rican.
Oh, that's right. Well, it's the same thing. They stole their flag. But anyway, so now I'm playing. It's a joke. My Puerto Rican fans. Love you guys. Okay, so fact or fiction, northern Georgia is flat and lacks elevation, which is completely bogus.
No, that's a myth.
Yeah. So
Where north you go, it's a lot more mountain.
That's where the Appalachian Mountains start. So actually, northern Georgia is really where you get a lot of elevation. You could hit up to 4,700 feet.
Wow.
In elevation.
Interesting.
That's not bad.
Did not know.
That's not bad. So there you go. Our fact or fiction for northern Georgia. Some little travel advisor tips, baby. You want to give them some travel advisor tips?
Allowed to look at my
You are allowed now to look at your notes. Yes. I'll start with the first one. The great for themed long weekends, hiking, spirits, and culture. That's exactly what we did. Highly recommend northern Georgia. I think it's a little hidden gem in the East Coast of the United States. Again, if you want to disconnect, have a little country feel, that's definitely a nice place.
So it says ideal for romantic getaways or family adventures. And I have to say, I concur. We live in Miami, so Georgia is about 8 hours north of us. It took us about 11 to get to where we needed to in North Georgia. But yeah, it's super cute. I think it's like a great family vacation, and it's a quick getaway from us in Florida because we're very flat and swampy here.
Yeah, very, very. And let me tell you something. While we were hiking, and this is June, right? We did this in June. Basically, it was like 60 degrees
at night.
It was amazing weather. So kudos to that. There is a little cool tour guides that you can add that has a lot of history. Again, there is a lot of history in northern Georgia. Some of it not so nice, but overall there's some great history there.
A lot of cute towns and a lot of antique stores. I loved it.
Yeah, which I'm gonna be honest, northern Georgia, the people there are just phenomenal.
Everybody was very, very
great, nice, and southern hospitality to the max. And then what's great is that northern Georgia, many destinations are only 2 hours away from Atlanta, which is great. So if you have enough of your country bumpkin, you got vibes and you got that out of your system, you could just drive 2 hours south.
Which I did. I drove over 2 hours. I had a concert.
K-pop, baby.
I had a K-pop concert. So I left everybody in northern Georgia and drove my 2 hours to Atlanta. And then
we went from like Chris Stapleton to the Stray Kids, which is a great shift. You see, we're multicultural.
Surprisingly great concert.
Yeah, well, there you have it. Segment 1, guys, in the books, fact or fiction. I think that was a great one.